Hello and welcome to the first episode of an exciting new series, Turning Pages. Margaret Porter and myself are co-hosts for what we hope will be a wonderful program spotlighting all kinds of individuals and entities throughout the area who are involved with writing, with book selling, agents, whatever it is. We want to spotlight some of these people and help you to get to know them. This was an idea that's been in gestation for quite a while with me and Margaret. We met about 6 or 7 years ago and instantly felt as though we'd known one another forever. From there, we began to attend one another's book events. Margaret's 17th book is coming out. Margaret became a regular on my other program for Concord TV. In fact, she holds the record of being the guest the most times in the last 5 or 6 years. And we produced a couple of events to spotlight Concord area authors. But we finally decided we wanted to do more. And so we put our heads together, and Turning Pages seemed like the appropriate way to take our love for books and writing to the next level. And so this show is very exciting for both of us, and I would like to say I'm honored to be here with you, Margaret.
Thank you very much for being my co-host, and I've enjoyed all of my visits to your show, Capital Area Chats, and it's great to have our own show and to free up your time on Capital Area Chats to be able to spotlight events and organizations and people and activities that are non-writing or literary related. And so now we've brought those to their own show, which is really going to be a lot of fun.
It really
very
is.
Exciting.
We have two amazing guests today, which I think bodes well for the future of the program.
Indeed. We are delighted to welcome today Emilie Burack and Sarah McCraw, who are the organizers of our first ever New Hampshire Book Festival, which is taking place here in Concord. Well, over to you, Emilie. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, no, thank you. First of all, both Paul and Margaret for having us. We're so honored to be your first guests. But we, the New Hampshire Book Festival, you're right. We've created this out of nothing, and it's about to happen October 4th and 5th on South Main Street in Concord. So we're going to be closing off the street, and we're going to have a street festival all day on Saturday the 5th with live panels and over 50 authors. And then we'll also have 3 ticketed keynote events with wonderful authors, and those ticketed events are what fund all the free events that happen on Saturday the 5th starting at 9 a.m.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it's wonderful that it's a free event. Paul and I, in producing events, have tried to always make them free so that we can bring the community in, and no reservations required, no money paid except for the keynotes, which will be well worth the ticket price, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's been our goal from the start. And to have a festival where people can wander in and out, go to a panel, sit for a bit, leave, and no reservations required, like you said.
Well, how and why and when did you get the idea to host a book festival here? I've lived in places and states and cities that had their own book festivals, so I'm just really excited for New Hampshire to finally have its own. I mean, we have writers' conferences and book events in bookstores and sort of, but this is nothing of this magnitude. So what made you decide to give up your lives to put on this massive event?
Sarah's really good at telling this story.
Oh, well, I would say it was slowly and then kind of all at once, because it's something that we had talked about over the years. Like, why isn't there a book festival in New Hampshire? Since we're both authors, we see it from the author's side. And I've lived in places that have had book festivals like you have for many years. And one day last spring, we were at Gibson's doing a writing session together, and Emilie said, I think we should do it ourselves. And I think I laughed, and then
she did.
And
coffee spewed.
And then all of a sudden, there we were starting to plan it, and it kind of, that was the day it was born. I guess, and that was last May. So very quickly after that, we formed a 501c3 with the help of a pro bono lawyer and formed a board, and then we were off to the races at that point.
Yeah.
So 4.5 months approximately.
Oh, no,
Oh,
a year.
last year, a year ago.
Yeah, more than
No.
a year and a half. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. I mean, I look at your Facebook page for it, and it's so beautifully. I see how many followers already, and it bodes well that there is public support here, and that it's really something exciting. People are talking about it. I've heard people talking about it, and it certainly will be another jewel in the city's culture and events, I hope.
Well, we hope so too. And I have to say, we had that same experience when we started thinking of the idea. Every person that we mentioned it to was like, oh, that would be great. And even people have never been to a book festival. And a lot of the people haven't around here,
That's true.
which is even better, right?
Yes.
Because then we can introduce it and sort of do it our own way and help people get comfortable with it. But it really, it's an experience that we've always found that's given us great joy when we've attended book festivals. We've gotten excited to see authors that we had always dreamed about hearing and asking questions of, but then also just experiencing authors we never heard about, didn't know anything about what they were doing, that got me excited in different genres. And that's what we really think that that's what's going to happen. It's going to bubble up in Concord. And then Sarah was really good to point out from the beginning, we're going to make it a book festival for readers, not a writing conference, not a
Exactly.
writing workshop or anything so there's nothing sort of highfalutin about it or elitist about it. It's, I mean, gosh, so many people love to read, and the genres are all across the board. So
Yeah.
that's what we're hoping to create.
Yeah, and one thing that we did from the start that is also a little bit ambitious is most book festivals are either for adult readers or kid readers. There's not all that many. There are some, but usually they're divided. But we're doing both. We have something for all ages. We have kids panels in a dedicated tent on Main Street. So that's kids and families, all from picture books all the way up through YA, and then adult panels and conversations in Governor's Hall.
And
inside.
Gibson's Bookstore is doing book sales.
They
and book.
oh my goodness, they are. So we were smart in some ways, and we've learned from others. But one of the best decisions we made was to approach the Capitol Center in Gibson's and say, "Hey, we're starting this. Will you be our partners?"
And
they are
geographically, it makes
Oh
so
my
much
gosh.
sense because they're so close to
They
each
are
other.
so close, and they are so incredible. I mean, you can't have a book festival without an independent bookstore partner. They really are they're ordering the books, they're making sure that each author has a backlist, they're selling them, they're processing all of that, which is huge. And then the Capitol Center, we are so blessed to have them. That's where our keynotes are going to be. That's where our poetry salon is going to be, the author lounge, and all the adult panels. We've had our volunteer training there. We have over 70 volunteers that are going to be working at the
That's
event.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That in itself really speaks to
It
the
does.
engagement.
Yeah,
the
because they want to
community.
be part of it, and that's I think that's a good sign.
Oh, very
Yeah,
good sign.
for growth for the future.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So in terms of sending out invitations to the authors, and were you contacting publishers specifically? Did you get in touch with authors individually? What role have the publicists played in making sure that you get the kinds of material and send books in advance and things like that? How's that process been?
Well, I would say it was a real mix because we had an application form on the website, and we weren't sure, like, is anyone going to apply because we're new? And we were super pleased we got some wonderful applications, and so that was one way in. But in general, we did both. We contacted publicists directly when we knew, let's say, Shannon Bowring's young novelist from Maine. I knew who her publicist was and could contact her and say, is she available, that kind of thing. We did a couple of connecting with the sort of publishers' event planners who kind of round up all the authors who might be on tour and tell you about that. So we had some of those
Oh,
interactions.
that's very helpful to
Yeah.
have that kind of information, because the publishers and the authors are, they're in book tour mode and happy to show up in places, especially New England, maybe New Hampshire, that might not have been on their radar for an appearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we found a lot of publishers don't really help their authors at all get to an event like this. So we, a lot of times we were doing a lot of that research, like finding out, we knew that we only wanted to bring in folks that had 2024 books because we wanted current books,
Yes.
and we thought that those were the authors that were most likely to maybe have some support from their publishing house to get them here. It's very thin out there for support for authors, as I'm sure as you both are authors and you know.
Yes.
And we also wanted to raise enough money where we could have a honorarium for everyone, so that, I mean, there are some people that live a couple of hours away, but just because of their circumstances, there's no way they could even get childcare and then come and, you know. So we thought through a lot of those things, and we wanted to have it even throughout, everybody, no matter what, same honorarium. And it's not very big, we're very new, but we just felt that it was really important to support people that are doing this wonderful work. That you don't have to be wealthy in order to go to a book festival,
Exactly.
you know? It's not this club, although some of them are run that way.
Yeah.
Well, and unable to
Yeah.
do this, to be able to do this, you have had sponsorships, very generous partners and sponsors who I think obviously that is another sign of the buy-in, the support, the excitement about being able to support, foster, nourish, and provide the financial support for an event like this.
Yeah, and that was very gratifying. We had, just to think of one of our early grants came from the city of Concord, and that was a big boost of confidence to get that. And other amazing grants and sponsorships followed. We have great support from New Hampshire Humanities. Our lead corporate sponsor is Ledyard Bank, and they've been super generous. And Grapponi Automotive, also very generous. And then a whole host of other sponsors and partners of different levels. But it's been really pretty amazing to see. And a lot of work on the part of our sponsorship team, who's
I'm
Yes.
sure
has done a lot of
that
that
it's
work.
really paid off.
Yeah.
So we have a funny story about our first, getting our presenting sponsorship with Ledyard Bank. They are right down on South Main Street, and we just thought, well, you know, they're just breaking into Concord, and we're just breaking into Concord, and they're our bankers. We had our account with them, and they're wonderful. And so we just sort of thought, okay, we're going to ask them, and we're going to see if maybe they would want to be the presenting sponsor. And the day of the big meeting was, of course, a snow and sleet storm.
Of course.
And we were thinking they were going to cancel, but they didn't. And so we all, like, by hook or by crook, with our boots and everything, came. It was one of those storms where you had to get out of the car physically and move, clear your screen, your windshield.
Yes.
The one
whatever it was.
snowstorm of the winter.
So we felt like, we just laid it out on the field. We're like, we are doing this. And they were just great. So when they said yes, and yes to the presenting sponsor, not only was that wonderful for the book festival, but I think it also, like you said, gave other sponsors confidence. Like,
Yes,
Ledyard's
an
stepping up.
incentive
This
to-
is a real thing.
Let's get
and we're
involved
gonna,
with this.
because it's hard to sell something that's never happened before.
Of
Yeah.
course, yes.
Yeah, it's a leap of faith for us all.
But it's the first annual.
That's
so
right.
that means that it's going to happen.
Happen again.
Next
Yeah.
year. And how and when do you start the evaluation process, deciding how to tweak it or not tweak it and all of that? The day
Already
after,
started.
the 6th of October.
Yes.
Take some
Yeah.
time off.
We
You're gonna
will take
earn
a
it.
little time off, but we have a plan to really evaluate it formally and think about, like, what worked well, what do we need to change next year, that kind of thing.
Do you think the timing of the time of year will be the same?
Well, we have the dates for next year.
Oh, wonderful.
great.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
And we went back and forth on
It
the
is.
time, and we
Yeah.
thought, is spring or fall? And a lot of the thought was, every publisher has these book lists, and it was really great to have that the authors of the Christmas Fall list.
Fall is really the
and
bigger
so-
of the two lists.
So
yeah.
that was one factor. We also knew the Boston Book Festival was several weeks after the weekend that we picked, so we didn't want to.
Yeah.
We didn't want to conflict with that. It's a beautiful time to be in New Hampshire.
Well, that's
Hampshire.
just
Yeah.
it. It's,
It is.
you know,
Oh,
foliage
yeah.
season, and
Yeah.
some people may just come to Concord because they're tourists or visitors or something, and,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
stumble upon this amazing thing that's happening on Main Street.
So true.
Which made securing rooms for authors a trick.
Oh,
we-
of course, yeah,
like
some
months ago, we
competition.
were suddenly like, because
It's foliage season.
no one
Yeah.
wants to give hotel rooms, even well, obviously not at a discount, but they like to have like a 2-night minimum and all that. We thought, oh no, what are we going to do? But the Dupree companies were really helpful in getting us
great.
to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
helpful to book
Steve.
rooms and everything.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
were really grateful for that.
That's nice. That's
great.
wonderful.
So your the keynote speakers. Let's talk that
Yes.
up.
Okay.
That's very exciting.
Yes. We have two great keynote speakers. On Friday evening, we have, I'll just pull out these books if people want to take a look. These are the books of Jean Hanff-Korwilitz, who's coming to the Chubb Theater, and she will be talking about her new book, The Sequel, and that is a sequel to The Plot, her literary thriller, blockbuster from a few years ago. And Jean is someone who's not a household name, but she's sold a lot of books. She's had a couple of her novels made into movies and TV shows, like the movie Admission and the TV show The Undoing. And this book, The Plot, also is getting made into a TV show. So she'll be back. She'll be here to talk about the sequel, and she'll be in conversation with Laura Kanoy. And that's Friday, October 4th at 7 p.m. And there's still good tickets available, and we hope people will buy them because it is a fundraiser for the festival. So that's
Nice.
something we're trying to get the word out about. Yeah. Do you want to talk about Kate's?
Oh, sure. So we have another early author that said yes to us was Kate DiCamillo, who is a beloved children's author, and we were really thrilled with that. We decided to create 2 keynotes with Kate. Luckily, she said yes. One, the first one is she's our children's keynote, and one thing that we really wanted to do with our mission for this book festival was to make sure that as many kids as possible could come, especially from under-resourced schools in the area. And we, so the way to do that, we thought, after talking to the Children's Literacy Foundation, is to get kids while they're in school so that the bus can take them, because not everybody can get there with their parent on the weekend. And so we did a lot of talking to school librarians and going to different conferences to tell people about this, and got a lot of buzz. And so Kate is coming to talk about her book that will come out the day before the children's keynote, called Hotel Balzar. I do not have it with me, I'm sorry to say. But we decided to make that a feature event for us. We have underwritten, the Judge Family Foundation gave a wonderful grant to provide transportation to schools that can't afford to get there, and also we are giving a brand new hardcover copy autographed book of Kate's to every single child that comes to that event. So, and it's sold out within a day, so that's 1,300 kids, 1,300 books from schools as far up as Coos County to down on the seacoast.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's
I mean,
so
it really
good to
is a
hear.
statewide.
It is.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
we were just so thrilled with that, and so thrilled with Kate's generosity to come and do that. So that's going to be our first big adventure.
Yeah.
And then we thought, well, we had decided we wanted to do a book to screen keynote, which if you've been to them before, it's basically an author talking about how their book became
Yes,
a
those are
movie, right?
fascinating,
And they're
yeah.
kind of cool. It's like the inside scoop of all the stuff we're wondering about. And so we said, Kate, would you be interested in doing with that? Because many of her books have been feature films. I think there are 3 or 4 of her books have become feature film. And she said, yes, I've never done this before, but why not? And so her book, The Magician's Elephant, which is an absolutely beautiful book, I wish I had to show it to you, but that is going to be the feature book for this family keynote, which will be at 5 o'clock on Saturday, the end of the festival. And she is going to talk about all about sort of how that happened, you know. And it's an animated movie. It's a Netflix original movie, and we have permission from Netflix to show it. So she's going to talk about it, and then she's going to sit in the audience with everyone and watch it, and then
That's
sign books
amazing.
afterwards.
That
So
How
is.
exciting.
yeah.
And did I see there's some kind of a giveaway that's happening?
Well, we have a lot of giveaways.
A lot of
Yeah.
giveaways.
Well, we have a contest. We have 2 contests right now. One is you can win 2 tickets to the keynote with Jean Hanff Korelitz and the copy of the book. Excuse me. That also comes with the ticket, and another contest for Kate's Saturday keynote, 5 o'clock. So 2 free tickets and books.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, it's I can't wait. Hoping for good weather.
Us
Yes.
too.
Definitely.
Yes.
There are already flags up on Main Street
Yeah.
promoting it,
Yes.
which just add to the excitement and to build up the
Thank you for saying that
anticipation.
about weather, by the way. Not to interrupt. No, I just wanted to let everyone know that it's rain or shine.
Yes.
We have
Of course it
everything
is. Of
under
course it is.
tents and in the Capitol Center, but you know, sometimes you'll wake up and you think, oh, they're probably canceling something.
Yeah.
But
Right.
we're not.
Oh, well,
No.
good.
And we
No.
have 50 authors coming from around
Yeah.
the country, so we hope everyone comes out and
Yes,
supports them.
you heard it here, rain or shine, sleet or snow. No, it's too early in October for,
Yes, it
for the
is
kind of
for
snowstorm you had when
Yeah.
you went to visit
last
the
spring.
bank.
Yes. Wondered what was the easiest part of doing this, because you both exude such a delightful passion and enthusiasm. that
And like
comes
you've done it
across.
10 times before.
Exactly, one would think.
So
Look at mirrors.
But what was the easiest part of this?
The easiest
Journey.
part. Wow.
Well, Sarah's found it all very easy. And so have I. No, we've just had our moments. Gosh, easiest, Sarah.
Well, you know, maybe just looking, this is both easy and hard, looking at the writers, the authors that you would like to have. I would say that's the most fun part. Yeah.
I think what's been easy, and I talked about this a little before, it's been, everyone's so enthusiastic. It's not like a hard sell for us, so
No,
it's not like
I'm
we're trying to
sure.
convince people. The only thing that's been hard on that is just explaining what a book festival is, because a lot of people just think of
Yes.
in the cafeteria at their school when you were selling books as a kid. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
so it's one of those things where I think it was just, well, that's just been so delightful. And also the community just rallying. We have this very simple mission, which is to bring authors together with readers to celebrate literacy, community, and conversation. And we really mean that. I mean, books bring people together, story
They
brings
do.
people
Absolutely.
together, and it gives everybody a mutual thing to talk about, I think, and we all get something different from different stories. And our experience and some of our board members' experiences have been at book festivals just a joy of meeting other readers. There's just something about it.
How many are serving on your board? How many?
We have 10 board
10.
members right now.
And everyone has different assigned areas that they
We're a
work on.
100% working board, as
Yeah,
they
I'm
say.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially as we're getting closer to the festival, we have each board member is a team captain that has a group of volunteers under them, so that we're, just distributing information in a really as clearly as we can, because it's brand new to the volunteers, and it's
Of
brand new
course.
to us, and it's
Yes.
brand new to everybody that's coming to Concord.
Right, right. And the venue, the Capitol Center hasn't hosted anything quite exactly like this.
Like this before.
Yeah.
Never mind Main Street being shut down
Yes.
Main Street shut down for all kinds of citywide events, but this is kind of a different concept, different thing.
And the
Yeah.
setting is just perfect.
Yeah,
yes.
we think so too, because it's the arts center of
Yes.
Concord, right? And it's becoming more and more that every day. And we feel like in the future, there's lots of room to move. We could have things at the Bank of New Hampshire stage and at the Capitol Center. And so if we expand in the future, we feel like we can expand in the same area. And one thing that Sarah and I were always attracted to with that part of South Main Street is other book festivals, you're spread out all over. Like Boston Book Festival, you might hear a speaker 3 blocks away, and then you walk somewhere.
Different stages.
But this is very community. I
Yes.
mean, everyone together with a big book sale tent right on the, we're going to call it the Book Festival Village, the part of Main Street that's cut off. But we're going to have food trucks. We're going to have exhibitors, all literary related exhibitors, and
Very compact.
Yes.
yeah, but very compact, and that's, I think, how you meet other people.
But it's a great, setting to spend the day. You've got your food, you've got your food for your brain,
Yeah, exactly.
seeing people that you know, and it just sounds like a great outdoor festival. The whole festival thing. I think that you calling them festivals is really it gets across that it's more than, it's not just sitting at a reading. Not that there's anything wrong with
No.
author
Yeah,
readings
yeah.
and book events like that are more contained, like in a bookstore. But that sense of kind of openness and like a fair, a festival.
Yeah.
And it's festival. It's fair season in New Hampshire anyway.
That's true,
so
that's
it really
true.
does sort of fit in with
does.
what we have going on most weekends around New Hampshire at this time of year.
Absolutely. And you have a website if people want information.
We do.
And a Facebook page also. The website is, if you'd like to.
Oh, sure. It's NH Book Fest or Book Festival, either works.
Okay.
.org, O-R-G.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I
Thank you
would
for
urge-
putting it up. Yeah.
I would urge people to check that out, definitely, because
All the
there's just-
information, I know,
Yes.
is there.
We now have a map as of 2 days ago.
Oh,
a festival
fantastic.
map.
Oh, I haven't.
We have a
Go to the website.
downloadable schedule.
That I
We
have
have a digital program that's already up and running, so that has everything about the authors and the program in general, and descriptions of all of the panels. So we're trying to get everything. Every day we learn
Trying. I
anything
think
new.
you've succeeded. I don't know. I don't
I'm in awe
yeah.
of listening to everything.
Definitely.
Yes, yes.
Well, I guess we can't wait to be your first customers on
Thank you.
Friday and Saturday.
And Margaret's going to be one of our amazing moderators.
Well,
and we are
I'm
thrilled.
looking forward to
It's
that.
so
mystery
exciting.
panel.
Yes.
Getting to meet other authors, and
Yeah.
it's great.
And there's an energy about something like
Definitely.
that that's just amazing. And I think
Yeah.
people are going
Yes.
to be amazed at how much they fall in love with the event, because I think they will be asking you, are you going to do it again? Will be one of the first questions
Oh,
people
yes.
will ask.
Yes, indeed.
Because-
Yes, indeed.
Because they'll want to tell their friends who will come next
Yeah.
year, and it's wonderful what you've undertaken
Oh, thank you.
to
Thank
benefit
you.
all of us.
Yes.
And that matters a great deal.
Well, it's been a
Absolutely.
community undertaking
Yes.
for sure. So yeah, that's a. And we do have evaluations already prepared. So
Oh, my
we
goodness.
look forward to getting feedback from everyone, because of course we need to
Yeah, we
know
wanna make
what
it
do
better.
people want.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And
great.
an opportunity for people to suggest genres that they love. I know a lot of people have said, "Oh gosh, we'd love a horror panel in the future," or we don't have any nonfiction, but that is something that people love.
Or to volunteer next time.
Or volunteer next time, yeah.
Yes, well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Emily and
Thank you.
Sarah,
Thank you.
for being with us on our very
you.
first
First
show
show.
Yeah.
for Turning
Oh.
Pages. And
And congratulations.
Yes,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Congratulations to both of you.
Yeah, thank
Look
you.
forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, see you on October 4th and 5th.
indeed.
And you have a standing invitation to come back next year to talk about your
Yes, all
thank
right,
you.
yes. Yes, I think we've already booked our September show for
I think so.
2025.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Wow.
And Margaret, as always, it's great to share space with you.
Likewise, likewise. And until next time, thank you very much for tuning in to Turning Pages. Happy reading, happy writing.
And thank you, Matt, for your invaluable help behind the scenes.
And Concord Television.